Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela, and on this topic I want to talk about how the narcissist, they think you're delusional. Is this recording? Hold on. I'm sorry, I had my phone attached to the car on Bluetooth, so I wanted to make sure I was recording because as you guys can see, it just finished raining. So you know, if you're in California, you already know it's raining. So I'm like everybody else. You know, as soon as it stopped raining, I'm outside. What's good? What's good? I'm outside. I'm just kidding. I'm always outside, literally. So the narcissists, they think you're delusional. They think you're delusional. It hurts when you heal. When you realize that you know, the narcissist is like, you know, you're delusional. You don't know what's going on. Oh, think whatever you want to think. You know, you can make up stories. You could assume shit because you're trying to figure out who is this person. Who, you know, and they're like, you'll never figure me out. You'll never know my spirit. You'll never get me. And a lot of times it's because you don't get them. That's why you're typing up, you know, things about the narcissist. And the narcissist told me he was a narcissist. You know, he's like, my sister, she says I'm a psychopath narcissist. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And he's like, a psycho. I'm like, yeah, you're psycho, but you could be a little psycho, but like, you almost feel like they have their reasons to be like that. Like, you feel like, nah, you ain't crazy. You ain't crazy. Like, they crazy. You're defending them. You're defending the narcissist. You're like, you know, you ain't crazy. They're crazy. Why are they fucking with you? Like, what's going on? Right? You don't know they're fucking with people, and people ain't putting up with their shit. But you believe them. You think they're a good person, but they're misunderstood. You know, they make you feel bad about yourself. They put themselves on a pedestal. You know, they'll call out your every insecurity, or if you're not an insecure person, because I definitely wasn't an insecure person going into the relationship, but they will make you feel that way. If they feel like, if they feel like, oh, you think you're pretty and you're trying to get away with shit, and you think that, or you don't even have to be pretty. If you're just confident, or if you just believe in yourself because you were taught that, or you were raised, you know, in a household where you were taught things about God or things like that. So if you're someone even with faith, right? They'll mistake someone they'll mistake someone who's a Jezebel or a narcissist and feel like, oh, you have confidence because you have support, you have people around you boosting you up, or your family got money, or whatever thing that a narcissist will come up when they're exploiting you, is that it's something about you, your light, something about your presence, your kindness even, or your ability to be overly kind, right? Because sometimes I come across people who are really kind to me because they feel like they owe me something for just being nice to them. And I'm like, I don't need nothing from you. Like, keep it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they'll be persistent. And the thing about that is that you appreciate things, and a lot of times you always remember and you want to give back to those people, right? You always feel like, oh, I got to do something nice for them. They did something nice for me. But the narcissist looks at that like being fake, that being a transaction, that being a delusional relationship because that person doesn't really like you. So when you know that you didn't need anything from anyone, And you're a human being, you know, of course, if you feel betrayed, or used, it's gonna hurt. But the narcissist feels like you're too forgiving. You're too, you know, you let people get away with stuff, or they're seeing people manipulate you, or your family, or your parents. They want you to be something. You might not want to be these things, but they're pushing you at these things. The narcissist is the type of person that's going to be like, your family is delusional. Snap out of that. You could do whatever you want to do. And when you're chasing after your dreams, what happens is that the narcissist feels like you're delusional, that the only reason you're going after your dreams is because they told you so, that you wouldn't have done it without them, or you wouldn't have came across a lot of knowledge, or you wouldn't have this confidence in these things if it wasn't for them giving you affection, or them being there for you. So the narcissist is like, look how quickly I just want to show you that I can take away that delusion, and I can take it away. I could put a fucking frown on your face, and I'm going to be in control. You're gonna need me. I'm going to be the man. You're gonna need me. That's their energy. Their energy is always gonna be like, you're delusional, whatever you got going, you're only doing it because of me. Or you might have been someone who you're always chasing your dreams, and you have people around you who want you to, who want to see you happy, you know. And the narcissist will feel like, you're delusional. All that stuff you're doing, it don't mean nothing to me. Or I could have done that. Or I know a lot of people that done that. Or I know people that do shit better, that's doing this. And then they'll start putting inputs. You should do this, or you should do that. Or they'll simply seem like uninterested in anything that any goals that you set out, that, you know, come to light in front of them. They're gonna feel like, oh, I don't really want to be there, or oh, I have to work. Even if you tell them ahead of time, and they're like, okay, I got that day off. They'll promise you things and that they'll be there for you, but they won't be there for you. And it's intentional. It's intentional to let you know that your accomplishments, they don't really mean anything. Like, other people could be impressed, but your degree, everything, what you're working hard for, it don't mean shit, because this world is an illusion anyway. So, and you're delusional anyway. You don't know nothing about nothing. All that, they're like, all that can be taken away at any time. You can make a mistake and you can be fired. And you're the type of person that, you're so delusional, you think things are always supposed to go your way, that you're not going to make it after they fire you. You won't survive. So they're like that little voice of negativity, right? They're that little voice of negativity, and they feel like you're delusional. And in actuality, you're really not that type of person. You're the type of person that you get up and try again, and you look at what you could have done differently, or you have conversations with the people around you about what happened, and you don't feel like judged. You feel like you're taking people's advice, and you're considering what they're saying, right? And you're like, you're right. If it makes sense to you, you're like, you're right. So the narcissist is the type of person that's like, if you're talking to people and they're telling you good advice, especially if they're older than you, the narcissist will just devalue what that person is saying. And the narcissist, which is kind of, you know, to them it's like, oh, those people are judging you. They think you're stupid. They think you're dumb, because it's like, come on, like, even me, I know not to do something like that. Or I know that it's only so much you could do. Or I know that you can't be friends with these people at the job and share your personal life with them. I'm just giving you an example, right? So the narcissist would be like, I know. And if you're a young lady, you know what I'm saying, and you're dealing with an older narcissist, anything after 7 years is old. definitely older, to me. If anything, 5-7 years, that person knows a lot more about life and ways to manipulate than you. And because you're not a manipulative person, you can fall prey to that, thinking that certain people are nice or good people, and you might not see the signs, or you might think certain things are normal. But when you finally get a remark from the narcissist, and it seems like they're a hater, and it seems like they start wanting to think for you. So if you tell them, what I caught myself doing a lot of times, I remember when I would share certain things, or share certain things about my culture or things like that, and they would say, oh, people from your culture, they do this all the time, all of them do. And I'm like, no, they don't. Not my family. I don't know, that's like some other type of people or something. So you realize, like, their perception about life and people and people's different cultures, or certain, and even with people closest to you, you start seeing the narcissism in them. If they're racist, you start seeing certain things in people. So you start to see that a lot of people prey on each other to feel like it's like they're competing for attention, and they're like, oh, I'm better than you, I'm better than all of you, right? There's this need for attention, and it's like whoever gets the most attention, whoever is applaud at the most, whatever that image of success looks like, that's what it is, because those pictures are being put in front of you. Those realities, everything is set up that way. You see how I'm chilling here, and the world is going on around me in the back, and everyone's living in their own reality. And a lot of people are delusional. They think they know everything. They stop even growing at some point, and you realize, hey, certain people you grew up with, they're dead. Some are on the street. Some are successful. Some, are getting by. Some made mistakes that they wish they could take back. So many different realities. And when you're young, and like when you have your parent or people come through and tell people what they do for a living, or when teachers bring mentors and people that, or people in the, if you want to join the military, people come over and they tell you, you could be whatever you want to be. They give you all these dreams of what they're telling you what you should start dreaming about. So the narcissist feels like everybody delusional, because everything, it wasn't set up for you. Your life was planned out for you from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Your reality was planned out, and the narcissist a lot of times, they don't like their reality. They don't like their reality. They don't like how they look. They don't like they feel like they wish they could have someone else's life, or they feel like other people's parents are better than theirs, and their parents suck, and they don't know that those people's parents ain't really what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and then people start judging one another, and they're like, your pain is less than my pain. It's like there's this competition. So when you see how life really is, and you think, and when you're with your class and people from your generation, and how the generations even before you, how things were planned out. A lot of people, oh, I want to be a superstar, I want to be a rock star, I want to be a movie star, right? And certain parents are like, I know you want to be a rock star, sweetie, and you're like, oh, I want to get my guitar, and me and my friend, we're gonna go on tour, we're doing fucking shooting videos and shit, and your parents like, you gotta do something else too. You could do everything, but you can't just be delusional and think that that's going to play out for you. You can't just go on YouTube and think you're going to have 1 million followers. Just because a lot of people on here are delusional and their life revolves around it, and they need attention from people, and they need clickbait, and they are filled with anger, and they got unhealed things, and they're really not happy, and they wish they could have a different partner, but now they're getting all this attention from people. So you gotta stick it out. And people are living in delusions, and other people see something else, right? It's like I always say, like watching a movie and it looked like something. You watch the movie again, it's like, or you know, it's like watching the Get Out movie. You're like, oh, Get Out. It's about black people, white people trying to enslave black people. And it's like, when you look at it again, and you really understand more of the psychology behind it, and if you're not a racist and you don't look at life like that, and you see that narcissism comes in different aspects, there's different personalities of narcissism, and some are, right? Like, you know, brother. I love America, brother. So you just see how people go into their own worlds, and then they want everyone to see things that way. And when you lose yourself from all these narcissists that fuck with you, when you lose yourself and you look around, you're like, damn, I don't know anything at all. It's like you go through a period where you don't know nothing at all. You're just observing shit. And it make you sick, because you also feel like you're designed to have you were programmed to have certain emotions. This is why, you know, it's like bringing a new kid into the family, and you're like, oh, I'm not the baby anymore. And now you're competing for attention. You're doing shit for attention. So anything that you do to better yourself, the narcissist is like, oh, you're doing it for attention. You're doing it for attention. They're trying to bring you down. And when they feel like they've broken you, they're like, oh, see, because they were actually jealous of you. That's why they had to break you down like that. They were jealous of you. So when they finally do, to them, it's like, if someone that, when I met you because I admired certain things about you, or I was jealous about certain things, or I wish I had certain things that you don't have, or I wanted to study you, I wanted to study the people around you. So the narcissist looks at it like, okay, if I could break someone like you, who you're living in your own world, and make you see what I see, then I can see, I can do everything that you've accomplished, or any dreams that you've put forth, or anything that you desire, things that you wanted that I didn't give you, but I knew that someone else could give it to you. I just was taking my time, because I needed to find those things first. And then I was like, oh, then you can go and find these things. And I don't really care if it's too late. And I don't care how long you search. So they stick around. And then when they stick around and they leave, they're like, oh, I could do better. And if they find someone they feel is better, or they find someone that they feel admires them more than you do, because that spark you once had for them, they see that shit fading away, because you're starting to see the jealousy, you're starting to see the evil, it's like you're in denial, they see that you're in denial, that you can't believe it. But they know that you're trying to understand the why. And they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, the why don't really matter, because I did it. It could be many reasons why, bitch, but I did it. Because you're delusional. Because you don't know that when people wrong you, even once or twice, you got to check it. You can't just forgive it easily. Not with people like me. You know, and the narcissist sees you as being a forgiving person. You forgive a lot of people. But I also think it's twisted when they go after younger people, or people that they're like, oh no, that person's mature for their age. They got their own little apartment, or they got their own, you know, it's like, you, of course you got your own everything. You're going fresh into life with a fresh start that other people don't have no more. So that's why a narcissist will go attack, and if you can go through all their attacks and still be successful, then yeah, they'll push it out with you, and then they'll calm down for their own convenience. But if you break down, they know you can't handle someone like them. They know you can't handle certain parts of them that you don't even understand, you know. So it really don't matter, because everything is for the narcissist convenience. So because they can bond with you and make you feel like the bond is real, they automatically feel like you're delusional, because they can be staring at you, right? And in the beginning, when you meet them and they're looking at you in your eyes, and you're getting all this eye contact that's like, you know, it's on a mating level. Like, it's not on a that's a friend or that's a family. It's like you're admiring another creature. You're studying another creature, and they're studying you, and it feels like butterflies, right? But eventually, you're gonna see the darkness. You're going to see that they're looking at you, into you, to see how much you still love them, how much you still believe them. Like a whole fucking, like a little maniac serial killer. That's all. And then if you're looking at them, or you're like looking at them blankly, because you're also you're studying them, like, is this motherfucker thinking what am I thinking, and how much I can, how invested, or how aware I am of him and his shenanigans? Because sometimes you see the signs, or you see certain things, but you turn the blind eye because you want to keep your relationship happy. So the narcissist is like, what's going on? I'm reading you, and you're like, and they're like, why are you making that face? And you're like, what face? Because they're trying to see what's going on in your head. And you're like, what's going on in your head? Like, why are you around people playing games, right? But you don't, you know, if you say something, you're not going to come to a resolution, because you're like, this person don't got good intentions. Or they're living a double life. Like, something else is, like, they want to have their cake and eat it too. Like, something's going on. And sometimes the narcissist will even ask, you know, they feel like you're delusional about relationships. They want to force their relationship thoughts on you. So they feel like, hey, you were programmed to, hey, meet a boy, get married, and that's it. But to me, I feel like you fall in love multiple times in one lifetime, and you could have multiple partners, and you can have open relationships. I feel like you can love two people and have two different types of dynamics. The narcissists a lot of times see things differently. They don't look at it as cheating even. Sometimes they're like, I'm with you. That person's a nobody. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to. And they want to just keep love bombing you. But if you keep accepting it, to them, you're delusional, because you have to make a choice. And a lot of people, they don't want to leave. A lot of people don't want to accept that they don't want to leave, even when it gets to that point, they don't want to leave. And then it's like a whole bunch of crazy shit going on, and you're too embarrassed to tell other people the crazy shit because they're going to think you're fucking crazy. And some of those people go hang out with other crazy people, and now it's a whole bunch of crazy people together, but you see that you're different. You look at all the crazy people and you're like, oh, that's what you did to me? Oh, you think I'm one of them? Oh, you think I'm delusional? But you were supposed to be more mature than me. You know? And when it comes to even like how I said, like when you're young, you know, people are competing for attention, or some people just get more attention, right? Like the teacher's pet. Sometimes we find ways to be liked by people, and it's at a very young age, and it's instilled in people, right? It's like going out to PE and you're gonna play a sport, and the teacher is like picking his favorite students out, and the teacher is like, hey, Jessica, pick out who you want on your team. Hey, Josh, pick up who you want on your team. And everyone's picking. You pick one, you pick one, you pick one, you pick one. And you might be the last person standing. Nobody want to pick you. You that awkward kid. And you're like, oh, everyone's like, oh, I'm just hoping I'm not last. I'm just hoping I'm not the last man fucking standing. And everyone's going. And then when you go, you're like, yeah, bitch, I'm not the last one. I almost thought I was about to be the last one. So now I see how you motherfuckers really feel about me. So I'm gonna have to do something different to stand out, to get attention, whether it's cracking jokes, whether it's having my own style, dyeing my hair, doing certain makeup, having my own little, my mohawk, and nobody's doing this. No, I'm gonna go do this. Or, I play this instrument. Now everyone's trying to figure out who the fuck they are. At least that's what they think. They think they're trying to figure out who the fuck they are. And they're like, they're thinking for themselves in a way where it's still delusional, because in a sense it's like things are being put right in front of you, and you're basically having to choose what you like and what you don't like. But then there could be an influence in your life to make you pick these choices, right? There could be certain factors that play into even what you decide to pick based on your reality. So to you, when you pick these things based on all you know, you feel like my group is the cool group. Rock on, dude. Like, oh, yo, fucking hip hop over here, fucking jocks over here, nerds over here. I got talent, you know what I'm saying? So there's this need for attention, and it becomes delusional. It becomes very delusional over time. So if the narcissist is someone who is the golden child, and they get more attention than you, or they have better looks than you, or they get better grades than you, or they can get, bragging rights with other people because of it, or they might even feel like, or you might, or the parent, if they're a narcissist, they might pay more attention to the golden child, and the golden child has good looks. You might be really good at certain things or studying, and you might not get that attention because that parent is like, I was never smart. I never even got to go to college. So yeah, I'm gonna support you, but it's not gonna be the same type of support. And that parent might feel like my golden child is gonna be happier because they won't have to work as hard as you, but they're gonna get probably further than you, or they might marry someone rich. So there's this delusion going in that parent's brain, where they feel like this person has more value than you. And for a parent to feel like that about their children is delusional, because you should love all your kids unconditionally. Yes, you can have, I do feel like you can have a favorite, and sometimes that favorite might not be the favorite no more, and that was somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That can happen. But as far as love, so when you start to see how the people around you could be very delusional, or heartless, or they're so delusional that they don't believe in you, they start planning your life for you at a young age. They start saying certain things about you that aren't true, or judging you based on certain mistakes, and they feel like they carry that shit on forever, you know, no matter what you do. And anytime you have any success, you see the hate. So what I found myself doing a lot, like I said, was I was always defending myself with narcissists. Like, no, that didn't happen. You don't remember you said this first. You don't remember you did this. Always. And it always seemed like it was a joke. Like, it didn't matter. It was a joke, because it's like, okay, you're reacting, but I know that I know that I did say that. I just want you, I'm just gonna keep denying it so you can feel, because I want to see how dumb and delusional you are. Because hey, if 1 + 1 is 2, that's all there is to it, and you should just be like, fuck this person, right? So this is why I say the narcissist, you know, they'll think that people are delusional. And when you're around people like that, you can't be around them, because they're always going to be negative. See, they like you, they admire you, but after what you don't understand is that the narcissist also wants to be liked and admired. They like you and admire you because they want you to like and admire them. And when you see them as being a good friend, or being like really smart, or having a lot of wisdom, now they feel like, okay, now I feel comfortable enough to disrespect you. Now I feel comfortable to feel like, you know, you're delusional, because I could have been lying to you. I could have been sharing half stories with you. They don't understand the concept of valuing good people, you know. So you got to be careful with narcissists when they make you feel like you're stupid, or you know that you know something, and they're trying to tell you otherwise, or they're trying to tell you that you're incorrect, or and these aren't things that are, I mean, these are like, a lot of things are debatable. You could believe something is true that's not true, because that information that was given to you is false. So there's situations where, yeah, the narcissist could be right, but there's situations where, you know, hey, the sky is blue, and the narcissist like, no, it's not, it's black, or I mean, it's orange, whatever the case, right? It's purple, it's yellow, whatever. So, you know, when it gets to that point, when you feel like you're always defending yourself, battling with someone, or you just feel like people don't believe in you. Look at this person, he's screaming, he going through it, yo. He about to start throwing shit. I'm probably gonna have to leave. This always happens to me when I go into a shopping center and pull over. He delusional too, but in his mind, he having fun. He like, I don't give a fuck what y'all think. You don't know what the fuck I've been through. You don't know my life, so I don't care, and you're not gonna help me. And I sleep here every night, so bitch, I'm trying to scare you so you can say, I ain't gonna be sitting here parked here. I'm about to stand up. In a second, I'm about to stand up. I'm gonna give you 30 minutes. You think I'm crazy, huh? I'm gonna give you 30 minutes, and then in an hour, if you still here, I'm just gonna start circling around your car. It's been real, y'all. Don't let this be you. Don't let this. That's what they want. That's what they want you to become. That's what narcissists want you to become. They want you to question your own reality until you don't know nothing and you don't have faith in nothing. And if you're someone that people didn't instill God and faith in you at a young age, you realize that no matter when you get older, if you choose to change religions or you come into spiritual awakening, you realize that knowing about God saves you as well. Because if you don't, even if you get to a point where you feel like you don't believe in anything, you can get into points where you don't believe in anything, and God just gonna have to show you He real, because now He sees that you're paying attention and He just needed you to be alone. So you realize these things were important, and certain people come from even generations where these things weren't instilled, or the devil came and sacrificed these people based on generational narcissism. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother subject. I don't even want to get into that. But yeah, narcissists, the reason they fuck with people is because they think you're delusional. They think you're always going to be delusional. They think that, like, you're not going to wake up, and then when you wake up and you know what's going on, you're like, okay, bitch, I know what's going on, but, like, why are you being so fucked up? Like, chill. Like, why can't you just apologize? They're like, oh, because I meant that shit, because it benefited me. And you're like, okay, I understand. Fuck it, I was the sacrifice, but I can't feel guilty for being a good person or naive. Like, I can't feel guilty for that, but I could feel bad for what you did to me. And they'll feel bad because I don't feel bad. I feel good. You gave me energy, and now they go into this delusional state. And you know what's funny too? A lot of people they will warn you, like their friends, their family, people will warn you. They'll tell you the narcissist is delusional, or they're trying to be something they're not. People will tell you, people around them that know them will tell you these things, and sometimes you'll even tell the narcissist what they said. And the narcissist is like, no, that's them. Like, I don't care what they think of me. Like, I know who I am, right? And you're someone that you feel like, okay, you could be delusional to a certain extent because you want to make your dreams happen. But the narcissist goes into a fucking, like a maniac, like into some menace to society shit, They take it to another level. And people will give you them signs. They'll tell you, the narcissist is delusional and things like that. And then later on, they'll say that it's you who's the delusional one, right? They'll start saying the things that people say to the narcissist, they're going to say these things to you. So when the narcissist cusses at you, they treat you bad, they say certain things to you, a lot of times people have said these things to them. It's like a kid. A kid is not going to say a bad word unless they hear the bad word, unless they hear it repetitive, or they see that it could cause them. It could cause them to have. It could cause them to be their personality to be affected, right? It could affect their personality, the behaviors, the music they're listening to, the cussing, all this stuff, the over-sexualizing, all this stuff can play a role into who they become as a person and who they are as adults. So a lot of this stuff the narcissist does to you, you're shocked. You're like shell shocked, like you can't believe it, and you're trying to teach them, or you're trying to help, like you're trying to give them love, you're trying to help them, like, you think that you can change them, basically. That's all there is to it. You think you could change them, or you think that they should be one way, and the narcissist has decided, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is who I am, and you're not paying attention to, you're delusional, you're not paying attention to what's around me. But then they're telling you, don't judge what's around me, and then they want to stay in those, they want to stay in that toxicity, like they like it. you know, and you can't figure out or understand, or, you know, understand where that came from. And you can understand, but you can't live it. You can't make them change. Even if you even if you know they have all it, you feel, even if you see more in them, you feel like they could be better. Like I said, it's like trying to tell a drug addict to stop. You can't do that. People gotta want to do these things for themselves. That's why, you know, they always say, you know, when people show you who they are, you know, believe them. But like I said, you know, these are things that you learn as you're getting older. And that's why, you know, especially when your mind is not fully developed, you know, you won't understand everything. There's stages. Every you know, as you get older and older, there's stages, and the older you get, you see life more and more differently. And this is why sometimes you'll even see the evil in certain people, how evil and delusional they are about life, and self-centered and money driven, like to a crazy level, where they don't care about morals, they don't care about family, they don't care about certain shit. They want to shit on you, they want to make you feel hate, they think you're jealous of them, you know, to another level. You know, and these things is, a lot of these people, some of those people, they're so delusional. Some of these narcissists, they're so delusional because people have always given them that attention, or they've been that golden child, or every time they did something wrong or got in trouble for something, they were able to get themselves out of that shit. When they were able to cry, and people believed them when they cry. They were able to shed fake tears, you know, shit like that. So, and it doesn't mean that all children, you know, they're narcissists because they were shedding tears and trying to get their way, because it's human survival. You know, kids can do things, and then you have to correct that shit and know, hey, you gotta take accountability. So that could also take a play into it, where they got away with it and they weren't held accountable, or their parents didn't punish them, or their parents pretended to punish them but didn't, or the parents felt like hitting you with a switch was teaching you, but that shit didn't do nothing. It just made the narcissist angrier, and they're like, this motherfucker beat me with a switch, like, now I'm gonna get older and I get in a relationship and I'm gonna beat somebody up, you know? And in the narcissist's mind, they're not doing anything wrong. They're like, this is normal in my household. We fought each other. We did these things, you know? And they can't even understand the extensity of what your pain is and what you're going through until it happens to them. And even when it happens to them, they're not worried about you. They're still worried about themselves. So a lot of times when you found the narcissist, a lot of times the reason you can see that narcissist mask drop completely, and you're able to see how other people that be playing games with you, but they want to keep that mask on, when you see, no, this is what the fuck it is. I'm not delusional no more. Everybody playing games, right? When you get to that point, the narcissist, they know, you know, they're like, they know when you get to that point, when you're like, oh, you know, what the fuck, what's going on? Now I see the narcissist. I see them for who they are, and I see everybody's shit for who they are. And I see that certain people, I don't matter to them the way they matter to me. And it stings, right? You're no longer delusional. By that time, you're no longer delusional. The narcissist, they're already monkey branching to someone else. Or they already feel like they've defeated you. They broke your reality of life down. They feel like they even did you a favor. The reason you were attracted to the narcissist to begin with is because you were the type of person that you didn't want to be delusional. You were someone that was like, why do we do this? Why do you question? A lot of times empaths are people that question everything. You question literally everything. Why do we do this? Why do we do that? You want to know the whys of shit. And sometimes you even have to burn yourself because you're trying to figure it out, or you feel like, how do you know that that's true? Because other people's reality, they feel like something else is true from what we all believe in over here. So you're the type of person that you question everything. So a lot of times when you come across a narcissist, they are the type of people that also question everything as well. And then you'll bond through trauma, through things that you went through, or if you don't have any, you don't have traumatic things going on around you, you'll focus on the narcissist trauma because you'll be like learning new things. You feel like, oh, you're learning new things. You're, or they're teaching you certain things, or they agree with certain, they agree with a lot of your viewpoints on life, or they see a lot of the things that they see about life and people and how people treat each other. A lot of things that you see, they see. And you're like, I've never felt nothing like this. So you do become delusional because you start to think that when you connect to people like you, they're going to be like you. It's like, it's like when you're younger and everyone's picking what type of group they want to be in, and based on certain factors in that person's life, that's who they're going to become, right? They come from a family where it's a lot of LGBT, or they come a family who are into sports. They come into a family, different groups. They're going to make choices that might seem like they're the opposite of those things. They might feel like, oh, I'm gonna stand out and do the opposite of what my family does. And they're gonna go into connecting with other people who think like them, or live similar lifestyles, or view life similarly, or who are also the opposite of their clan, and they're into the same thing. So just the same way that people connect to who they think they want to be, you know, because then you get older and you're like, what the hell was I wearing them skinny jeans for and doing that? You know what I'm saying? When you change and you realize certain factors played a role into these things, certain factors also played a role into your own delusions on how you even ended up with a narcissist. And that's where you have to do the inner healing as well, as how you even got with this type of person, or this type of narcissist, or you also realize that in that delusion, that just like I said, just because people have knowledge on things, and you might be into the same music artist, or you know, you might be into the same things. Being into the same things doesn't mean you know somebody. Being into the same things does not mean you know that person. Having hobbies that are alike, you know, that does not mean they're a good person. That doesn't mean, oh, I feel so. It's because you get to know the narcissist and you feel like, I know them. And the narcissist, no matter how long you've been with them, even years, married, children, you realize you never knew them at all. When you really look back and you get time to yourself, you realize you never really knew that person the way you thought you did. And yeah, you enjoy the good moments, because you know the good moments, you think about yourself and how you were happy in those moments. You try to think about the good parts, but you realize that the narcissist targets you because they feel like you're delusional. They think that they know more about everything in life more than you. And when you get out of it, you think to yourself, you know, just being with someone who thinks they know everything more than you, and they're baiting you with things and trying to manipulate you, you realize that not everybody is worth being a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Because the narcissist will claim the narcissists are the type of people that's like, you got to be around positive people. You got to find people that want to see you do good, because they're always going from person to person, trying to attract a certain type of group or audience. They're always trying to live through other people in their own delusion, because they know those people are going to agree. They feel like, I'm going to find my own tribe, and those people are going to agree with what I have to say. So the narcissist goes into their own delusion where they're like, you got to find people that want to see you do good. And when you leave, you realize the narcissist portrayed to be that person, and then they try to fuck you over. And they told you that that's what people do. They told you that's what people did to them, that they were good to people and they fucked them over, that people be fucking over them, right? So when they're doing it to you, you'll tell them, hey, what you said people have done to you, you're doing it to me. And the narcissist, to them, it's like, okay, you're delusional, okay, because I've done this before, you just don't get it. I've done this before, you're not the first person. And sometimes they might even tell you, and you're like, but why would you do this? You're trying to understand who they are. You're trying to understand their delusion, because they come off like they want to see you do good at first. So when you leave, you realize, you could stand on your own 2 feet. You don't need nobody to fuel you. You don't need nobody's approval. You really don't even like sharing shit, because you feel like, I don't want to talk about it. I want to be about it. It's like, you don't even want to talk about it. You don't feel like it's something to talk about. So when a lot of times the narcissist, what you notice, a lot of people don't share things that they want to do, their aspirations with people, because they know people are negative. But if you notice, the narcissist was always sharing things with you because they knew you were going to be positive. So when you leave, you realize how important it is to have positive people around you. You rather be alone and be positive for yourself than have negative people around you. So when you do have positive people around you, you appreciate them. And when that person supports you and they got something going on, what you want to do is you want to support them too. But what you will notice with the narcissist is that if the narcissist feels like you're doing something positive and you're around them, they feel like you're getting energy from them, when they feel like, without me, you wouldn't be doing this. And what happens is that they get jealous, or they try to mess up your day, or they show like they're not interested, or they don't really care, or they're nice, and then they start treating you bad because they feel like, okay, I did something nice, but now I have to get my reward, and my reward is to go cheat or go do something or go out and go try to get a new supply. I got to reward myself for being nice to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the narcissist, you'll start to see that they're competing and they're jealous even with their friends, people close to them, their family. They wish they had other people's lives. You're seeing all these things, but you don't really understand them because you're happy in your own life. And the narcissist knows that. They know that they bring you some type of joy. That's why they have to keep showing you like, you got this joy because of me. Even if you were a happy person prior to them, because you're dealing with someone who's not happy. So the thing about when you feel the narcissist is that you're not jealous of them. You're just wondering why they don't want to share their success with you, or they disappear on you, or they want to celebrate with other people, or whatever the case is, right? Or if they celebrate with you, it's like they're trying to throw it in your face, like, or they feel like they're trying to force you to pay, like, oh, it's my birthday, it's my special day, it's my celebration, I deserve this, I deserve that. You realize that they become like delusional to a certain point. You realize that they become delusional to a certain point where it's like they can't come down that high now. And they feel like, oh, my life is complete. I got someone that they're pouring on to me, they're listening to me, they're always got my back. When I'm jealous of them, they forgive me. They keep forgiving me and taking me back, even though I be jealous of them and I be hating on them and I be trying to ruin their life. They be forgiving me. I got a person that really love me and I can do whatever I want in life, and they become. Sometimes you can find these people at weak times of their life, or they just went through some shit, or they got past supplies targeting them because they did a lot of bullshit. What they will do is that now they want to make the people, now they got fuel because they are like, I can make past supplies jealous using you. And when you go out and they're love bombing you, you might feel like this is really romantic and they're good and you might have a really good time. But the narcissist, they're trying to make other people jealous. They want other people to know, hey, I'm going to slowly get back to where I used to be. I'm going to slowly get back. Remember, I know you were laughing at me because I got my karma, but I just hit a jackpot. So they become very delusional, and now the narcissist starts having fantasies about like being famous and doing certain things, and some of these narcissists could be really talented, and it's not that you don't believe in them. It's like, it's not that you feel like they're delusional in any type of way, right? It's not that you feel like that, because you feel like, okay, you got to be there has to be a level of confidence there, but the delusional starts to get to another level, where now it's like they want to make you jealous. They want to, or they think that you're jealous, and then you're like, I'm not jealous, or I don't care, and they're like, oh, you don't care. See, you don't care about nothing I got going. So they start just making up stuff. They start going at it, and when they leave you for that new supply, they might tell you, oh, I'm gonna be doing this, I'm gonna be doing that, I'm gonna be doing this. And you know that life ain't the way they say things. You know that life don't always play out the way you want it to play out, just because you want it to play out that way. And you realize that you were the light in the narcissist's life, and the reason they even got that far or picked themselves up, because a lot of times they were lost, they were confused, they felt like they were never going to get back up again. A lot of times, they wanted to give up, they wanted to die. So this is why they don't care about how they make you feel, because to them it's like, I haven't felt so good and so delusional like this in a very long time. And you might be tell them you're making the wrong choice, like it's not going to play out the way you think it is. Or you might tell them like, trust me, it's not going to get better. Like, shit, the world ain't the way you fucking think. Like, shit ain't like the way you think. And when finances and all type of like, you could fall in love with someone. The narcissist wants to give you this delusion like, oh, like the new supply is the love of their life, and they're just so happy. Like, no, motherfuckers gotta work, motherfuckers gotta make money, motherfuckers gotta get in that bag. You got a lot of motherfuckers hating on everybody, hating on people's relationships, hating on you got people from the past that you still in debt with. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit going on. The narcissist, a lot of times you don't even realize when you were with them how fucked up their life was and why they didn't care about fucking yours up. So you realize when they're trying to make you jealous, or they're saying things to you, or they got all these put downs, you realize you can't listen to a delusional person, because this is someone who will leave you, and they will go and preach to other people everything that they did to you and how they learned from what they did to you. And they'll tell the new supply, I don't really feel good about all the stuff I did, because the narcissist said that to me. He said, I don't really feel good about all the shit I've done to people. When I was younger, I was young, I made a mistake, like I had a child at a young age, like no one, you know what I'm saying? And that realization of being stuck with someone for the rest of your life because you're connected to them. So when you listen to them and the shit that they say, this is why a lot of people be like, avoid people with people that they're connected to, because I don't want to involve myself in a relationship with someone who's connected to a narcissist forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go through things like that. Like, I don't want that type of stress, especially when you already been around it. You already know what it's gonna be, and sometimes you just better be lucky you got out of it. A lot of people don't realize they're lucky. They still be thinking like, oh, I wish things would have went like that. They still want to be delusional. You better be lucky you got out alive, because a lot of people lose their mind, get on drugs, end up in jail, you know, doing time over the narcissist, and they gotta learn in many different hard ways. And that's why I say a lot of people, you gotta think about it, is a lot of people are programmed to be delusional at a young age. And out of everyone in your high school, maybe one person might be famous or known worldwide, or maybe nobody, depending on where you're from, or maybe, you know, depending on what area. So you might be in an area where it's more static, it's more busy, it's more traffic, and yeah, you might have a couple of famous people that came from that school, but it was probably one or two every decade. You know what I'm saying? Every other decade or every couple of decades from that same school. So you gotta think about it. A lot of people are trained to be delusional, and then they break out of that delusion, and some people can't take it. Some people can't take the reality. You know what I'm saying? The narcissists, they can't take reality. That's why they stay in their delusional world, looking for someone who can live in reality. So when the narcissist feels like, oh, no, you're delusional, and every time it's like you're in and out of consciousness because they're confusing you. You're growing, and then you go back to sleep, and you keep going back to sleep. But this is why the narcissists, they want to give their partner the position of living in reality, why they live in Delulu land, and they sit here playing with you and goofing around and saying bullshit and taking everything as a joke and playing games with everybody and being evil and being hateful. And then when you tell them who they really are, they're like, no, other people don't see me that way. It's just you. That's like a delusional person. They don't admit their own faults. People that don't admit their own shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you're someone that's like, I'm not perfect. I used to be more, you know, sweeter, you know, more, you know, here and there. Now I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't take no bullshit, but I also don't got energy for it to even entertain it. So it really don't even matter. So a lot of narcissists, they think people care more than what people actually care, you know, or they make up things about people that aren't true. They judge people by appearance, or they judge people by their perception. And when you're with them, a lot of times you got to correct them and make them understand that people are living other realities. This is why the narcissist will view you as the last person, or view you as other people, and they'll talk to you crazy, and they feel like other people have dealt with it, so you got to deal with it. And if you deal with it, that means that you're just like the other people that they've dealt with. You know what I'm saying? That's why you'll come across certain narcissists that you don't really even know like that, and they think that they know you, or they make perceptions about you that aren't true. And then the more you get to talking, they're studying you, and they're like, I don't really know her the way I thought, or I don't really know him the way I thought. I thought you were a nerd. I thought you were this. I thought you were that. I thought you were mean. A lot of those people that say they thought this or they thought that, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, because you should never judge a book by its cover. You ain't even read the book. So you're going to deal with a lot of that, where that's why some of these narcissists are so delusional. Like, most narcissists want to be liked by people. They think either they want to be liked or they want to think they're better than you. Either or. Or both, basically both. Basically both. They're either going to think they're better than you or they want to be liked by people. And then when they feel like they come across people who are not in delusional land, because the narcissists don't feel like they're delusional at all. When they feel like they come across people that have just as much knowledge as them, they think you're so delusional that you're going to be like, oh, I like this person's energy because they think like me. And they think you're so delusional that you'll think of them like you. Because the narcissist comes across a lot of people that they could just transform into anyone. And when they get around those people, they study those type of people, or they study that person. They follow that person on social media, know their every move. Now they're like, I know that everything that person likes. So if you feel like I'm like you, you're going to like me. So when they feel like they're around people that are like them or more self-conscious about their surroundings, they'll try to make you trust them. And when they realize you don't trust them, they're going to keep trying. Like, you got some that are delusional. They're like, I'm going to keep trying because everybody like me, or why this person act like this around me, like they're better than me when they're not better than me. Well, who the fuck this person think they are? I'm gonna go over there and be fake with them and act like I like them and keep trying to get them to like me, even though I know they don't like me and I don't like them either. But I'm gonna keep trying because who the fuck do they think they are? I'm going to smile in their face when I see them because I could tell they don't like me, so I'm going to smile in their face. And you might not like them. You're just indifferent to them because you see through them. It's not that you don't like them, but because they're like a kid and they're delusional, they're trying to get like a reaction or attention, or they're trying to disrespect you, or, it's like you become a target in their life and you don't even know them. Like, you become like a target in their life, and they think that they know you based on just the information they know about you, or they know where you work at. They think that they know you, but they don't even know you. Like, you don't even know them. You don't even know them. Like, they're delusional. Like, when they see you, they think that they know you because they see you all the time. Shit like that. Or they think or they study certain things about you, so they put you in a category with everyone else. They're like, oh, you this type of person, you this type of girl that listen to this type of music and do this. I already know your kind, right? The narcissist is like delusional because you might be into all type of shit. That's just your mood at that moment. But the narcissist is already like thinking ahead in a delusional way. So yeah, they a lot of times they'll come at you like they like you, but it's because they might feel your confidence, or they might feel like they can't figure you out. So they'll be more persistent, and you'll see it. Or they'll hit you with the God bless you. Like, they'll hit you with some religious shit, like, oh, God bless you, just to see if you're gonna say it back. And then they'll be like, oh, they believe in God. They might not even believe in God. That's how sick they are. So that's how delusional the narcissist is, that they're like trying to bait you into some shit, and you're just like, okay, you see what they're doing, and you're just going along with it because you see what they're doing. But they think that they're steps ahead of you, but you see through it. So then the narcissist goes home and they think about what you did and how you said it and how you looked at them. They think about every little thing, and then they're like, oh shit, I actually don't got them figured out, because now that I think about it, I think she said that because she was just trying to go along with my shit because she saw through my bullshit. That's why she said it that way. Because I seen how she looked. Even though she smiled and seemed nice, she knew what I was doing. So now they're going to try to switch their tactic, and now they're going to come up with something else. Like, next time I see them, I'm going to act normal. I'm going to act polite but indifferent. And then the next time I see them, I'm going to love bomb them. Like, so you're dealing with someone that's delusional, and they might not even like you. They just feel like they just feel like everybody likes them. So they are like, why don't you like me? How can you tell who I am? How can you tell? Because a lot of people can't tell. And once you know that a lot of people are delusional, meaning that they're either a narcissist or they're delusional in a sense of they believe everything narcissists say, you realize that when you come across them, those motherfuckers, they ain't changed. They're playing a role. They're like playing a role. They think everyone's delusional. So when they see you're not delusional, that they can't play no fucking tactic to get you to believe that they're not who you know they are. And you're not judging them just like you don't go around just judging people like, I know that's what the type of person they are. You study them because you're studying them, studying you. And you realize that it's like they're playing a game. And in your life, because you have a lot of peace in your life, when you have a lot of peace, you can see people who do not have peace. And you're seeing how they're trying to manipulate you, and they're studying you while they're trying to do it. Like, if you're delusional, they're like, can I trick this person? And some of those motherfuckers do be tricking you, and then you go home and you be thinking about it like, damn, that motherfucker got me good too, but I wasn't playing a game. They go home and think about you, and they think about how to be delusional and play more games, you know? So when you're dealing with a narcissist, you don't really know how delusional they are until you like them. So now when you're like, oh, this guy, he been trying real hard. He been trying to figure me out. He done hit me with the God bless you, like he a godly man. He done hit me with the spirituality shit. He done hit me with the, the movement from back in the day, and he done hit me with this political shit that we both agree with, all this bullshit. When you're like, oh, he keeps trying, she keeps trying, he keeps trying, I'm being mean to them, I'm not giving it up easy because I want something serious and commitment. Most narcissists, they would have left already. Why would not all narcissists are the same. Some, they feel like they have a lot of supply, and and you don't give them no play. They're like, I don't care, I got too many people to juggle anyway, so I don't care, I got too much baggage going on anyway. And then you got some that's like, I got a lot of baggage, but I got everybody under control. So I can sit here and be playing these games because it turns me on. It turns me on that you keep entertaining it. You keep entertaining it. And one day I'm going to either ask you for a favor, or I'm going to ask you to go out, and you're going to go out, and that's going to be, and shit going to pop off right there and then. Because I'm being patient. I'm being patient. If you're patient for something, eventually, if you're patiently working towards something, eventually you gonna get there, as long as you keep working at it. And the narcissists, they keep working at being delusional with people to get to them because of their ulterior motives behind it. So they can't get something from that person. Here's a new tool, a new supply, and I don't need this person no more, and now I got this person. It's not until you get with them that you will see the delusions, like how delusional they are. But they chose you because you don't, most narcissists choose you because you don't know what's going on. So a lot of people that's in these narcissistic relationships, that people, you might see it and it look good from the outside looking in. You might see some of these channels where people are happy, but I'm telling you now, they're feeding the narcissist delusions. The narcissist is feeding, or they're both feeding each other. They're both they're both fueling each other for supply. You know what I'm saying? This is why a lot of times a narcissist, you know, they'll be delusional, and then they'll think you're delusional. When you start to grow up and mature, they'll start to think that your maturity is delusional. You wanting to live a normal, peaceful life, they think that's dumb. Like, or they're like, I got so much. They're like, I got so much I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But you're like, you already know the narcissist, they're not even there to do these things because they're still in debt. But you know you ain't got that debt, and you could do these things, and you could take your time, and you're not the narcissist is like rushing, like they're it's like, if I don't have supply, I'm gonna die. You know, that's how hard they're going. If I don't have supply, I'm not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make it. That's why they, you know, if they lose their parent or their mother, they're gonna want someone to take that role. And just because they marry you or have a baby by you, they don't see you as that. They see you as taking over, because they're afraid of reality. They want to stay in the delusion. That's why when the narcissist has to live in reality, they're in the fucking worst mood. You know what I'm saying? And even when you heal and you're living in reality, man, you be going through different motions, but you don't go into living in delusion. You just learn to accept the reality, find peace with reality, and do your best. You know what I'm saying? And find peace with, and just stay prayed up to hope for the best. Hope you make it to see another day. You know what I'm saying? The narcissists, no, they're like delusion, you know. And once, and like I said, certain narcissists, their delusion helps them sometimes get really far in life. And when shit is cracking and shit popping off for them, they're like, why would I take advice from you when shit popping off for me? I'm not you. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. And that's okay. And sometimes you're like, oh, they just go off and their life is better. Their life is their life. Your life is your life. And everybody's gonna die, and everyone's gonna get old. So narcissists are hitting you with, that's why you old, or that's why you this, or that's why you young and dumb. When they're hitting you with shit, it don't matter, because your life is your life, their life is their life, and it all boils down to the same thing. I really don't. It boils down to the same thing. So they're just a chapter, you know, they're just chapters of your story, and you can't take back. They can deny who you were to them, but it was already written. It's written forever. That time is already written forever. You know what I'm saying? So the narcissists will make themselves delusional to continue on, you know, and you think, oh, they're happy, or they didn't get their karma, they're doing better than me. When you know who they are and how delusional they are, and how they only see things their way, and they can't really empathize with another person because they're worried about their own survival, and in reality, and death is fucking with them. You know, when you get to a certain point, that's something that we all think about. Narcissists, empaths, we all think about this shit. You know, so when you know you're dealing with someone that doesn't care about another person, or they only care what that person can do for them, and not appreciate it, and feel like, okay, well, once this is done, now I'm gonna laugh at you, I'm gonna throw the new supply, I'm gonna talk shit, instead of being grateful for that time. And though and no matter what happened, they knew deep down inside you were a good person with pure intentions, no matter how delusional or how uneducated when it came to certain things, or certain trauma that you went through that affected you in your life, or things that you were missing. they know it don't really matter. None of that really matters because they know you really cared. Most people will only care about people based on what they have to offer, what they look like, what they knew that you love them so much that none of that shit really matter. So you always know the narcissist is delusional to think that every woman feels like that about them, because that's how the narcissist views it. That's why if a narcissist got money, he doing better than you, and you're like, oh, he got all these supplies, but they ain't you. They want him now because he got money. When he had no money, they didn't want him. They weren't sweating him. He was depressed. He was down and out. He weren't in where he wanted to be in life, or she wasn't where she wanted to be in life, or she wasn't getting what she wanted out of life. You were like a lot of empaths are like a coach, like a mentor to the narcissist. They teach you things, you teach them things. It's like you're trying to teach a bad student how to be good, and the bad student is teaching you why they're bad. You know what I'm saying? It is yin yang. But sometimes they drain all your light and they bring you into the underworld, and now you're surrounded by demons. But it's the climbing out of the delusional underground world. This shit right here, where you see all these cars climbing out of this shit and seeing it for what it is and snapping out of it. It'll help you be a better person and not judge others so easily. Yeah, sometimes we can have our opinion, we can talk shit, we can get into the little drama, we can feed into the little gossip, because we're human, we're not perfect. But it's our ability to catch it. You know, it's our ability to grow. It's our ability to understand that some of this shit that we be seeing ain't even real. It's just entertaining. But we can also understand that sometimes we can lie to ourselves by feeding our brain things that are wasting our time, right? That's why besides YouTube is enough social media for me. All that other shit would drive me crazy. It will drive my brain crazy. It will make me feel like, oh my God, look at this person. They just got their fucking PhD, and what the fuck, bitch? Why did my family have to be poor? And I couldn't do no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It don't make you, oh, look at this person. They, you know, they're on their third kid, and look at, they just bought a house, and you know, look at this Instagram model. She flying out all around the world. Man, I need to get my shit right so I can go and, you know, hit the island one time with the 2-piece. You know, what the fuck am I doing? I'm sick of this shit. I need to be outside. You know what I'm saying? The internet makes people like feel like they need something. I need something. And even when you're like on YouTube or something, you're like, oh, and go one video, you go to another. I don't even know what the fuck I'm searching. I'm just thinking of shit to search now. Right? Always searching for something. When you realize to be happy with what you have, and just, you know, just to appreciate what you have, and how certain people don't got shit. And I know you can say, oh, well, I don't want to talk about those people. It's happening to me. Fuck all that. But just like when you were with a narcissist and shit could always get worse, that's why you learn to appreciate shit. But with a narcissist, they're always going to want to compete, always want more, and always want to live fast. You know, they want to live fast. They still want to be, they're promiscuous. They're still like, you know, like YOLO, like you only do things once. Like they do things where they're like, oh, nothing's gonna happen to me. Oh, I don't care. I'm gonna go get surgery. I'm good. I'm about to have a banging body. They don't think like, oh, I'm gonna leave. They're delusional. Like they don't think something could happen to me and I could leave my children behind with no family, you know, with no mother or no father. You know what I'm saying? People don't think about that. Like I don't give a fuck how what imperfections I have. Like, I'm not going under the knife unless if it's a life and death situation. Bitch, I'm not doing that shit for fun. You know, and so that's the level of delusion that narcissists can go into, and sometimes even empaths, because of the narcissist abuse and people being always criticizing you about something that makes you insecure, and now it's built up into such a big thing, and you've became someone who is listening to people's opinions, and now you feel like, oh, I'm going to go and get this done, because if I get this done, no one is ever going to have to do. What are they going to say about me now? You could feed into people's delusions. You know what I'm saying? And then once you go and fix yourself, those same people are going to say, we like the old you. The old you is like, we like that gap that you used to have. It was cute. We would talk shit about it, but we liked it. You know what I'm saying? So narcissists will even get you to believe their delusions. Like they'll pick out things that they feel like you should be insecure about, and then later on you're like, I'm happy with this, I'm happy with this, or this is generational, we all got this, I'm not changing this for them. You know what I'm saying? And some people will be like, you know, some people, they feel like that's exactly how they felt, but the bullying never stopped. They felt like it was a life and death situation. So so they might get it done, and now the narcissist is like, you got it done because of me. You got it done because people said this or said that. You know, the narcissist is, you're dealing with someone who they're not going to be empathetic, and even if you do these things to change yourself, the narcissist is just going to find something else. That's why you can't feed into their delusions, their train of thought, how they think, how they perceive you, how they're unempathetic for you, because someone like that will talk bad about a fucking 90-year-old woman that's walking across the street with a broken hip, and will say something bad about them because it ain't happened to them yet. So you already, when the narcissist acts like they're this happy person and they moved on, you know, and they're purposely, it's not like, you know, if people move on in relationships all the time, cool. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, it's always going to be different, because they're either going to want to expose themselves and try to make you feel jealous, or they're going to go into hiding to feel like they're going to expose themselves, and then they're going to go into hiding, so that those were the last memories you had of them, of the fucked up shit that they did. And then in your mind, you're going to be thinking, oh, this person's happy, and sometimes they don't even end up with that person that they initially were with, and they end up going through shit, and their life gets worse until they find someone else, and they go through certain karmas, and you're just not aware of it, because you're so delusional your damn self, you don't want to snap out of it. So when you are brought up into a lot of, when you're living into a lot, when you feed into people's delusions, it becomes your reality, basically. So I'm gonna end this video now, you guys. It's like an hour and 30 minutes. I got stuff to do, and I wasn't even supposed to be on this shit this long, but I wanted to tap in because, like I said, I don't be tapping in. I just be I've been trying to tap in a little bit more. I think my let's see, what time is it? It's an hour and 30 minutes. Wasted that whole hour and 30 minutes, but I ain't really waste it. Y'all, because I hope you people really actually take something from this, because it's something that I realized that I was delusional when it came to certain things. I don't blame myself, because I was very young when I was in this relationship that I went into, and I realized that I couldn't grow while being with them because I stopped growing in that relationship. I was someone who was always growing, but when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're not growing at the same rate as people your age because they're stopping you from that growth. You're staying stuck. And then when you snap out of it, you're looking around and you're like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And then you got people that will blame you, that will be like, that's what you like. That's what you got people that's blaming you for the shit you go through, and they're like, you're not a victim of this shit. Just move on. And they don't even know half your story. They don't know what you've been through. They're blaming you for it. They're blaming you for forgiving them and taking them back and being dumb and delusional and not understanding. And that's not to say you're dumb. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know evil. You don't know evil. You think you know evil because when you come across evil people, you can feel that shit, and they usually don't like you and they don't want nothing to do with you, or they want to fight you or something. But you don't know that there's evil that will get close to you and pretend. You don't know that there's evil that has a smiling face. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't know. You think you know the people around you because you're bonded with them through blood, but then you realize that they're complete strangers. Like, you call them your aunt or cousins or brother or sister, but you realize some people you just never knew at all. You didn't really know them. They never wanted to get to know you, or they never wanted to share intimate things because they had other people that they were closer to. And then when they do something wrong to you, you're baffled by it because you're like, hey, I thought we weren't supposed to cross that boundary. And it feels disrespectful. You know, it feels disrespectful. But it's because they're in their own delusional world and don't even know how disrespectful they're being, because in their mind, you're a stranger. You being you're their cousin or their aunt or their uncle or, or their niece, they don't care. They see you as a stranger. There's no connection there, So sometimes we're delusional about how people are supposed to love us unconditionally, and some people don't, they don't see you as being part of even the family. They never saw you as being. They felt like a narcissist at a job place who don't want you there. Like, they're like, oh, I wish this person wasn't my nephew. I wish this person wasn't my niece. Like, why are they even here in the family? Like, and sometimes it comes from hating even your parent. Like, why are they even here? Like, why? Is like, everyone's here. Why are you paying it? Why do you care so much? You don't live with this person. What's it to you? Who cares? Oh, this person did this to me, that to me. And people are like, well, ignore them. Don't. So sometimes you'll have people, family getting together, and certain people don't like certain people, and certain people are picking sides with certain people instead of saying that it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have one group and the other group both being delusional, or one group being delusional and saying that the other group is a delusional one, and it's them who's getting together as a little narcissist cult at the job. They're the ones getting together to plot on everybody else. So that's why I say the narcissist is delusional. Some of them are delusional only to a certain point. You know what I'm saying? But most of them, they're going to want you to feed into their delusion. That's why a lot of times you can't get too friendly with those people. You just all you could do is be respectful. All you could really do around these people is just be respectful, and that's it. Because the more they think they know you, or the more they're trying to get you to trust them, because they'll take their time with you. Once they feel like you like them or you trust them, right there, that's when the narcissist is like, I won, because it was just a game to them. So that's part of the empath being delusional and the narcissist thinking you're delusional, is that You can't see things. Things are playing out like a movie, and certain things that are happening in the scene you're unaware of. And that's what the narcissist takes. That's why the narcissist takes advantage, because they feel like you're delusional, you can't see certain things, and based on that they're gonna run off with their delusions and then make you believe their reality, and then you'll be living in their world, and now you're not even living in your world. You're investing all your energy onto them. And that's where the narcissist feels like, you know, you're delusional because now you're living in my world. You look up to me. You want to be around me. Your style is changing. The way you dress, your style is changing into what you know I'm alike. They'll even tell you what they like, and now you're changing to fit in their fantasies, you know. So I hope that this message, you guys, helped you, and you know, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.